Welcome to the weekend edition of the Nightly News. Ted, what a great week we've had. And I mean, now I know 34 years, how you've survived. I mean, you have Shemane in your corner.
Well, the reason that the Ted Nugent Spirit of the Wild show now in Pursuit Network is far and above number one, it's the top-rated show on any of the networks out there. It's because of the Queen of the Forest segment, where Shemane has proven that a dainty, svelte, incredibly energetic and healthy young lady like Shemane can take her 30-pound Matthews bow and kill big game animals, including 600, 700-pound African antelope with a 400-grain gold-tip arrow in and out. Ladies, watch the Spirit of the Wild, the Shemane Nugent Queen of the Forest segment, and find out how nature can heal you and fortify you and bring you great life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Shemane, you're doing God's work. Thank you so much for that. Shemane is why Spirit of the Wild is number one, I promise.
No, it's not, but thank you. It's because of you and your vivacious personality. And you know what I love about what you bring to the show? It's your show focused on you, but you don't care whether you're hunting a doe or a huge whitetail. There's no trophy hunting, as people say. And I've learned, obviously, everything I know about hunting from you. And it is interesting, though, that we do need to change the narrative, especially when it comes to women. I meet women every day who want to get involved in hunting, or even guys who say, I'm too old, I can't pull back a bow anymore. Au contraire, I do shoot a 30-pound Matthews bow. I love my Jewel, but I just got a brand new one that I'm going to be trying out here any day now. But I've been able to kill zebra, waterbuck, kudu, white-tailed deer, fallow deer, aoudad, gemsbok, oryx, so many, because, and I'm not bragging, Keith, but it's all about shot placement. I have to wait for the right shot, and it's not easy. It's not like we can say, okay, God, cue the deer. I'm ready now. I'm in position. Put him 20 yards in front of me, broadside, please, and slightly quartering away with that leg forward. Can you do that? Yeah, it's not easy. But this year, going to Pursuit has really opened my eyes, because now I do my Queen of the Forest segments on Ted Nugent Spirit of the Wild were kind of haphazard. I wasn't doing it all the time. Now they want me to do every show. And have I not, Ted? I've really put forth the effort, and I've been hunting so many times in the past 6 months just to get prepared for this new season on Pursuit Channel. And I really do enjoy it. I love being out there. It's like an opportunity to shut down, the cell phones and the chaos, and really, take part in God's great design, Mother Nature.
Magic.
You know what, Ted? How fun is it? All these years doing Spirit of the Wild, top-rated show. Everybody loves it. And I, just as a fan, the reason I love it is it's the most real show out there. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, you don't foo-foo it up in any way, shape, or form. But how fun is that, getting to share that lifestyle with your family, and especially your wife?
Well, I started being outspoken intensely because I was attacked in the 1960s and 1970s for murdering innocent animals. And I was getting these attacks from drooling idiots, stoners that just dismissed God's nature, God's miraculous creation. So at first I didn't want to be mean about it, but I go, what are you talking about? Innocent animals. Have you ever heard of barbecue? I mean, are you familiar with, shank o steak? So my instinct as a Detroit guy, being a smartass, was to retaliate with humor, but with facts about carrying capacity of a habitat, sustained yield, actual harvest, the reason Thanksgiving is in November, the purity of a venison wild game diet. And so I realized that when Fred took me on our last walk in October of 1987, he said, keep doing what you're doing. Everywhere I go, Fred Bear told me this, the god of conservation promotion. He said, every sporting event I go to, everybody comes up to me and asks me if I know Ted Nugent, because I would shoot my bow and arrow on stage, and I'd have songs, Tooth, Fang, and Claw, The Call of the Wild, Living in the Woods, Spirit of the Wild, Fred Bear, Great White Buffalo, Loaded for Bear, the flight of the bird, migration, hibernation, all these references to my beloved outdoor conservation lifestyle. And so I decided when Fred died that next year, which, by the way, everybody, there's a Fred Bear celebration every birthday of Fred's on March 5th in Grayling, Michigan. Fred Bear Day, Grayling, Michigan, March 5th. Be there if you can, because that great man is still with us in spirit. And so I took Fred's inspiration. He said, keep doing what you're doing. So I realized that there was now a public television that had anti-hunting shows. Public television that would show the lion licking its cubs, but not the male lion eating the cubs. It was a dishonest misrepresentation of God's tooth, fang, and claw reality. So I said, well, there's this thing, the gold miners. These gold miners have an outdoor network. It was such a funny, hokey program of these guys being silly, mining for gold, boring the living hell out of everybody, which, by the way, I love you guys, but I figured, all right, I'll create, the term spirit of the wild came up because there is a spirit to participating in God's miracle. And so Shemane and I went around with this, again, she was carrying this giant camera, and we started setting records for pledge income on public television with the great, what was that? Tim Scarpino. Tim Scarpino was with public television, but he was a hunter, and he knew that they were lying. He knew that the public tax dollar torch fest was dishonest about nature. So we got top ratings in all 26 states where they showed Spirit of the Wild initially on public television, set pledge drive records because I'm a funny guy. Plus, everybody wants to see where pork comes from. And if you don't show the gutting and the butchering of a pig, you can pretend pork comes from somewhere else. And so people immediately responded. And then with the outdoor networks coming on, Sportsman's Channel, Outdoor Television, and now Pursuit, we decided we're not going to produce Spirit of the Wild. We're going to push the record button and just capture what I do naturally. I've never done a take two. I've never done a teleprompter. I've never written a script. I believe in my life. I believe in the outdoor lifestyle. I believe that God created nature for us to utilize with reverence and respect. And the wildlife management that we have created in America is the model for the whole world to maximize wildlife health and air, soil, and water production. So we decided to start it with the Outdoor Channel, and we immediately became number one. We won all the awards because we don't produce it. We got Dave Watson, our co-producer and our editor, a great, great dedicated musician and conservationist. So we just capture honesty. And if we make a bad hit, we talk about the human capability of malfunctioning once in a while. But we also celebrate that groundhog. We celebrate a squirrel kill and fricassee. We celebrate doves. We celebrate pheasant and woodcock and grouse and rabbits and sandhill cranes and ducks and geese and pronghorn and bear and cougar and elk and moose. We celebrate the reality of renewable resources that is the only perfect diet available to mankind. And that's why people like it, because we don't bullshit anybody. We don't play games and we don't candy coat. We kill stuff. We don't harvest stuff. We kill stuff. We kill it and we grill it. And people like that honesty, and they don't want people being cautious and, well, that might offend somebody. Well, if hunting and killing your dinner offends you, then you need to change, because I'm not. What I do, what Shemane and I do in the great outdoors, hunting, fishing, and trapping, it's perfect environmentalism, and that's why people like it. You know, Keith, I didn't invent the middle finger, but I perfected it a long time ago, and people get a kick out of it when I light it on fire. Ted Nugent's Spirit of the Wild, 34 years running now on the Pursuit Channel. The Queen of the Forest segment is to die for, and there's a great segment brought by another great cookbook, The Provider, what Chad Belding has done. We've got Kill It and Grill It, and we've got the Provider Cookbook, and people are learning that wild game is the most delicious, nutritious, healthiest, and environmentally friendly lifestyle available to mankind. Thank you, everybody, for making Ted Nugent's Spirit of the Wild the #1 hunting show in the history of hunting shows. How cool is that?
Shemane, before we let you go, it's been a great week. what's on your hunting horizon? What's something you haven't done you want to do, or something that you've done before, but you're looking forward to it again?
She's never killed a turkey with her bow in the season.
I never, you know what? You're right. I never have. I never even thought about that, but that's certainly a challenge that, I never thought I would go squirrel hunting either. But one day, Belle, our videographer, our VidCam babe, it was, we were sitting out in a blind and there was nothing. And you know how that goes. It's not always like you're going to have any activity and see anything, but there was a squirrel in front of us, like just standing there broadside. And I'm like, what if I can hit that squirrel? And I did, right through the heart. So maybe a turkey is in my near future.
Yes, well, plus in Texas, don't underestimate year-round hog hunting, exotic hunting. There are so many wild species of exotic animals from around the world, Africa and Asia and all over the world. We have more of them in Texas than those original homelands. So come to Texas. Exotic hunting, varmint hunting, mountain lion hunting, hog hunting year-round. We celebrate that so it never ends. We're very, very lucky.
Shemane, what a great week we had. Don Lemon doesn't know anything. You are in your prime, Shemane. Ted, congratulations, 34 years. And Shemane, thanks for joining us on the Nightly Nuge. And next week, Ted, they're already coming up with our script for next week. Joe Biden is at it again. And so next week, we'll have to tackle some more current issues. Shemane, thanks for a great week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Nightly Nuge, there ain't no bullshit in this world.